A beautiful thing.
I'm Dave,
And I'm Marla, and this is our segment Ask Marla Dave.
where you get to ask us anything that's on your mind, any question, and we will do our best to answer it as honestly as we can.
Because what we really want to do here is help you bring your relationships back to life, if we can.
To that end, I think we have a question by who is it,
Francesca.
honey? And look, I have to say thank you, honey, once again. Look at these lovely cards that Marla has organized with these questions, and we're gonna take them one at a
If
time.
he can't
today
remember
we're
the
talking
lyrics to a
Francesca.
song, clearly I got to write questions down. Okay. So he's taking Ginkgo biloba, that's about to get better. The question from Francesca is, what do we think, honey, of teenagers who get married at a young age? Do we
Well,
think
to
that's
be
good?
fair, we decided that we're going to put them on two lists.
When in doubt, go to
Pros and cons. You're so
Your
young.
flexibility
You're
is
flexible. Your paradigm has not really been put in place.
Not
the
hard.
construct from which you operate for your life has not actually developed. It's not fully developed.
which
So-
makes a better give and take. when
Right,
it
so
comes
you
to
can grow
marriage
together.
Relationships,
So
right.
instead of learning to grow on your own and then having to learn how to take that and put it together with someone else, you kind of grow together.
And then there's also number two would be that you're undistracted. You have blind love. There's nothing that tears
Well,
you away from.
All teenagers, when
your
she
desire.
says you're not distracted, all teenagers seem like they're very distracted. Well, what it seems like to me is that the next stimuli that comes along, they just go right wholeheartedly into that particular issue.
But
so,
you know what it's like too when you fall in love when you're a teenager.
Right.
You can't even eat. Like that's all you think about. You have the little tingly in your spine. Blah,
so
blah,
for
blah.
a brief moment of time, at the beginning of your relationship, that's all you can think about when you're very young.
And that's it for the pros. Number one, we discussed that teens typically make poor decisions. That's just part of being a teenager.
Yeah, we have teenagers.
And
so
I keep
we
saying
know
they're-
from experience that our teens are crazy.
Their frontal lobes are still oatmeal. I read that somewhere. In our case, our kids are so hard that they're still cut oats, for sure.
Wow. And so let's go down the list, and
so-
everybody can agree with that.
A limited self-awareness. You only know a little bit even about yourself, your desires, what you like, what you don't like.
And if you don't really
where
know
you're going.
yourself, how can you know what you're bringing to the table and how that interface from the two people bringing themselves to the table, that interface is the relationship. So if you don't know what you're bringing to the table, how can you know what the relationship is going to turn out to be?
Financial stability is not in place. You show me, on an average, you're not going to get the majority of teenagers who are set in their business. They're running Fortune 500 companies, or they're
Not
they're
that you
day
have to
laborers.
run a
Not-
Fortune 500
I'm just
company
saying that
to have a good relationship.
or even set in a real job.
Or even
I mean,
be a millionaire. The
come
issue
on.
is a financially stable teenager.
just knowing what you're going to do in
It's
this
not
life.
what you're usually going to find. Much less will you find a teenager whose occupation, they've already chosen their occupation and they're already headed that way, even to come up with that financial stability. So
And also, and last but not least, there's the societal time factor of maturation, which has now moved.
Right.
Now, as Dave was saying, that
21 is the new 18. That's our new thing.
that kids don't have as much stress, neither do they have the same amount of responsibility, and I think that
A
it's
few
our fault.
generations ago, at 17, 18, you had your own property, you built your own place, you worked your own field, and you were able to provide for yourself. But that's not the way it is
It's
now.
not required anymore. That's the
So-
real deal. It's what's not required. That's the problem. So that's where
That's
we
not
are.
the last thing, though. The last thing really is also the adults around teenagers usually know it's not a good idea because they have lived enough life to understand what it takes to have a successful
So they
marriage.
say, boy, girl, if you take on that husband or wife, you on your own.
So then really what happens is you don't have the support of the family members and friends around you. You're pretty much against all odds on your own.
So the conclusion based on the list is Dave and I are definitely freaks.
Pros here, cons here. So
Marla
typically,
and Dave here.
we
We
would
don't
say,
know how we got here.
you know, if you're in love and you're a teenager, hold on for a minute to see how it pans out. If it's real love, it'll last. If it's not, good thing you waited.
I don't know what happens, but every time Dave says real love,
Real love,
I get this little tingling. Look how he just like waits for the kiss. It's still
real
I
love.
want to sneak up.
I was waiting, it
No.
took so long.
Bye.
We got kissing to do. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks for asking, Marla Dave.
Francesca, hope that answered your question. Talk to you guys later.
A beautiful